Let's go. How are y'all?
Oh, what
What
up?
there everybody is. Sorry for being late. Look at this guy. What's going on, Rob?
What's going
Today,
on?
today we don't have to tell Rob to turn his camera on.
It's already
Rob,
there.
you gonna get a haircut like Matt?
Come on, baby. Brian, what's up, man?
What's
Kimberly,
up?
We'll
I'm trying to get home right now.
give everybody a few minutes to get in here. Um, Rob, tell us about Houston and any deals you've been finding there.
I'm just helping right now, currently helping a friend's wife find some more office space that they need down in Houston, which is a completely new thing. Uh, a lot of new terms, tenant improvements. They charge yearly by the square foot, and so it's just interesting to try and negotiate that and figure out what'll work for them. But also, I've been digging down a rabbit hole of mobile home parks and RV parks. For some reason, they seem more in touch with reality these days. I guess as far as their pricing is a little bit closer to, where the market's sitting at right now, compared to some of these people, that we've talked to that have their stuff at like a 4 cap, and it's like you're losing money right off the bat. So, but the mobile home park people are kind of, I think, more in touch with reality.
Yeah,
So,
and mobile home parks. I mean, obviously depends on where it's at.
yeah,
One in Austin that we own, I think Matt, when we bought it, it was somewhere near like a 7 cap, which was great because there was nothing in Austin for that. But they typically trade higher, right? Just because it's not a
yeah,
class B, class A building and the best locations usually.
right,
But they're such great investments. I mean, me personally, I don't know about Matt, but that's my favorite property that we own.
yeah.
Zero phone calls or issues with that one ever, and it just runs.
Yeah, and I've got two of them pretty much on the hook right now. So one guy said he's going to send over the contract today, so we'll see if that comes through. And then another one, the lady's presenting everything to the seller, I think, right
Very,
now. So
very cool. And Timberly, do you mind telling us or just sharing with everybody what you might have learned so far with your first wholesale deal?
Um,
I know we touched about it last week, but like I talked to you on Saturday, first leg of the wholesale deal is finding a deal. Second leg is finding a buyer. Third leg is working with title to get everybody to closing.
yeah. So the lender that I had open title with, she was basically saying that I needed to let the seller know that this was a wholesale deal and basically like what was going on in between, and maybe not necessarily how much I'm making that, but that I am making money in between. And so I was kind of like, whoa, okay. Not that I'm trying to hide anything, but I don't want to raise any red flags. Like, I want them to know that they're still getting taken care of for the amount that I told them that they were going to be getting, and that they were going to be getting out of the property within 60 days. Like, all of that was good. There was no reason to complicate it. And I told Matt and Alex, and, it's kind of red flag for them. So Alex helped me come up with an email to send back to title, and just basically letting her know, keep two separate lines of communication. And she got on the phone with me Monday, and we kind of talked it over. And I was afraid that she was going to come back and be like, okay, well, that we can't close this because we require, this and this. And she didn't do that. I got it straight with her, what I wanted them to know, separate lines of communication. She sent me the buyer's statement and the seller's statement. She was saying also that she just wanted to make sure that the end buyer knew that he was going to be paying a wholesale fee. And I was like, yeah, he knows. I was like, I don't know if he knows how much it is, but he does know that this is a wholesale fee and he'll be paying a difference. And the seller does know that she's paying 3%. That's in the contract. She signed it. And everything is good from there. We were trying to close sooner this month. I thought it would be more appealing for the sellers just because, again, she's paying back a HELOC from her mom. She's paying to keep utilities on, paying for taxes. She wants to offload the property. And they were even saying, that they wanted to close sooner than 60 days. And now that I'm actually opening title and letting them know that we can close sooner, they're like, well, we stuck to 60 days. I planned on that, this and that. And I was like, that's fine. If you want to stick to 60 days, you can. I just wanted to let you know, you can get the property off your hands sooner. She didn't want to deal with a lease back or anything. So we're going to stick to the end of next month. But yeah, just knowing who can close these things. Because I didn't know that Matt and Alex would use somebody else than what I put on the paper. So that's always good to know, especially with these type of deals, who can close these and who has experience closing these as well.
No, and you're doing great. And it doesn't matter even if it is our preferred title company. We always have to have, maybe not this conversation, but some sort of conversation. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're learning this. And throughout any deal, I mean, there's going to be tons of these things that come up. And just because you get a deal under contract on the buy side, and then you get a deal under contract on the end buyer side when you assign it, doesn't mean it's over. Now you got every single day leading up to the close date until you get closed and funded email,
Right.
where you're potentially fighting battles and putting out fires. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that this one, you're working through that, and obviously I think we got it solved at this point. And so
Yeah.
we've had a title company tell us that our fee was too high before. They're like, you guys
Really?
can't make this fee. Like, what the hell are you talking about? We can make whatever we want. This is, since when do you get to decide how much money we make?
Yeah.
And so we've fought plenty of these battles before, to get deals done. But the cool thing about it is that there's always an answer. There's always a solution. And you just got to be, able to roll with the punches and solve problems on the fly.
Yeah, I am a little nervous about her seeing Scott's name on there. Just like, how soon is she gonna show them now, or is she gonna wait until the day of closing to show them that statement with Scott's name on it? Because I know that they're gonna have a possible question about that, which I had already told her from the beginning. I was gonna bring investors out to the property that might be investing with me. So, I mean, there's a way that I could just tell her, somebody else came in, the investor that I brought out to the property, he ended up buying it from me, and she doesn't have to pay me anything from it. I think that's the main thing, as long as she's not paying me any more for it. So
No, I would, I mean, typically, you're just talking about on the closing docs.
yeah,
Usually-
like whenever Brooke tells them, or sees Scott's name on there.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only time they should see that is through closing. So let's just keep an open line of communication with title. What you need to do is don't forget. I don't think you will, but don't forget about this transaction. Constantly check in with title, constantly check in with seller, check in with end buyer, and just check in with title and say, hey, is all good? Do you have everything you need? Do you need anything from the seller? You need anything from the buyer? And then speak to buyer seller separately and just make sure they're all good. Make sure there's, no questions anybody has. I think a big mistake that some people might make is they get those first two under contract, they get the seller, then they find the end buyer, get them both under contract, and then they just let it go into the ether, and hopefully everybody does everything they're supposed to. But
Right.
you want to keep a good pulse on making sure the transaction's moving, smoothly.
Yeah, I've been talking to Brooke every day pretty much and updating her, and I updated Scott. I was like, hey, it looks like we're not going to be able to close sooner. I spoke with the seller, this is what's going on with her. And he was like, it's completely fine. So he's been updated that we can't close sooner as of right now. I told Brooke the same thing. I'm still waiting on her to sign the amendment to the contract, the seller, for the residential lease that I had accidentally checked. And I had gotten with the seller again today. I'm just like, hey, really need this signed whenever you get a chance, so I can send over to Brooke. And I updated Brooke. As soon as I get that, I'll send it over to her, and just kind of go from there.
Cool. Good work.
Thanks.
Brian, Andy, David, you guys have any questions or updates for everyone? Brian, did you get those under contract that we were talking about a few weeks ago?
No, we haven't got it under contract yet on the David Street deal. It's kind of, I was looking at another deal that I was going to send you info on for an off-market property that I would like to do another Airbnb on. So I was talking to Alex about it, and I'm going to send you info here on that deal right now. I'm getting terms from hard money lenders to see what my options are.
Yeah.
So I would like to see can you kind of discuss like what kind of solutions y'all provide for like funding and stuff?
Yeah. Be more specific with that question. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm looking for like a private money option. Maybe I can use I already got an approval with Easy Street Capital to do the purchase. And so I was thinking, I don't know if you guys do like second liens, or do you do the whole purchase, or is that something that y'all work on as far as any capital that y'all have?
Yeah, I mean, we're always open to figuring something out. The fund has done a few short-term loans recently. It needs to be pretty good return that they get just for, all the investors that are involved.
Yeah.
And typically, the second lien could work. Just needs to be structured correctly. Matt and I are open to partnering. Maybe somebody in here is open to partnering. I saw you post I was actually going to have you talk about this. I saw you post on Facebook how someone has 25 grand. You're going to maybe get them to loan it to you.
Yeah. That's kind of my next strategy, is to raise a little bit of capital here, see how it goes. It's just a friend.
How much cash do you need to close? Do you know?
For that deal for Easy Street Capital, it was, I have the term sheet right here. It was like a 70, I think 70 or 80.
How much cash do you have?
Not enough. I mean, I can have access to capital. But this is kind of my next step. This is something I want to prove to myself, as far as like, if I could get a good enough deal, raise the capital, be able to get into a deal without using any of my own personal funds. If I get a deal that's structured correctly, I get people that invest paid, and everybody wins. So that's kind of like my next goal for myself. So I think this is a pretty good deal. I don't know if you want to look it up.
Are you open to pitching the deal to a room full of investors right now?
Sure. Yeah. I got the address right here.
Pitch it to us in terms of, here's what I'd recommend. So,
okay.
And we're about to start doing this here live in the community, is, deal pitching day. We'll probably have like 2 or 3 pitches that people get to pitch during this weekly meeting that we put on. I think we're going to try and launch it next week. I'm still putting together some resources for you guys. That way there's some parameters that, y'all feel comfortable, getting for deals and presenting and talking on. But here's what I would recommend you do, Brian, whether it's to us or to anybody here right now, or to anybody you are networking with or meeting, is you got to pitch them the deal, right? So, who are you? Why? That's one of the biggest things, right? Is it can be a good deal, but if it has the wrong operator in place that can't be trusted, then that money could be, lost potentially. So pitching people on yourself, why you're qualified, your experience, how you're going to be able to manage this, why this market and this deal is going to work out. Then pitching it on the deal, right? So obviously, if it's a flip that you're talking about, the purchase price, the bids from the contractors that you had, the quote from the lender that you got, how much cash is going to be needed to close, how much of that cash to close you're going to be putting up, so that you have some sort of skin in the game potentially, is also important people investing with you.
Right.
Your timeline for completing these renovations, listing it, getting it sold, what you believe it's going to sell for after you sell it, all those closing costs, your rehab cost, your holding costs, your buying purchase costs are
Yeah.
going to leave you with your profit at the end of the day. So what you're asking from somebody, like say you have 70 grand that you need
Right.
to close. Are you looking for two investors with 35,000? They give you this money. You're going to purchase the asset. At the end of it, you're going to estimate $100,000 profit. They're going to get paid their 70 back first. Then out of the 100, y'all are going to split it in X percentage way, or is it a loan that you're seeking? So getting clear on how you want to structure it, what the numbers are, what's needed from somebody, and then seeing if they want to invest with you.
Got it. All right. Do you want to pull up the deal?
Let's do it. I'll.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you have that you want me to do? Is just pull up the address?
Yeah, let's pull up the address. That way you see it, what it is.
Cool.
I could even send you pictures. That way you could pull up what the interior looks like, because it's off market. What's your cell?
Send it to Alex Kaufman 44 at yahoo.com. That way I can pull it up on my computer and share the screen.
Okay. So Alex Kaufman 44 at Yahoo.
Yes, sir.
So this is a 454 Williamson Place in Corpus Christi, Texas. 454 Williamson Place. All right. So I was pulling up an ARV of it's a range of 530 to 575. About 200 houses are selling for about $200 a square foot. I kind of went in the middle, said it was 550 ARV is what Easy Street based it off of. And let me send these pics real quick so you can get an idea. Okay, so purchase price is going to be $300,000. The rehab budget I put with Easy Street Capital, since they're funding 80%, I put 100 so I can get close to 75,000. Looks like the rehab funding would be 80,500 that they would hold back. Doc fee of 3%. Origination points 3%. Doc fee 1,400, $1,500.
On the total loan amount, so purchase price plus rehab, you're estimating at 400, correct?
Yes, and that's probably overestimating it, just because I want to make sure I have the funds available in case anything happens that it needs a roof.
What's the amount they're going to loan you?
Let's see. Initial funding 241. Total cost to close is 317,160. Cash to close is 7560. Let me forward this to you so you can just pull it up on your screen.
All right. While you're doing that, tell me about this area, why you like this house, what you think the ARV is.
Yeah, this area is really good. It's over near Lamar Park, so it's right down the road from the actual Lamar Park, but also Lamar Park where the businesses are. So you have like restaurants like the Post, you have little boutique shops right there. So it's kind of the older part of town, but it's a nice part of town. So it holds its value really well. I have a Airbnb off of Aberdeen Avenue, which is a nice area, but it's not as nice as houses as the street is. My first month of Airbnb was last month with that house. We pulled in right around 6,000, maybe like 5,800 on Airbnb. This house is unique because it's a 4.2 in the front, And then in the back, it would have like a studio. And I have another house that I'm arbitraging with somebody else, which is kind of the same setup. Smaller house, but same concept. So you got like a 3-1 in the front, studio in the back. So it's 2 listings, which when I ran the air DNA report, you're pulling in with those 2 listings, it'll be about $74,000 a year.
Okay, and the plan for this one is to flip it though, right?
My plan is to refinance out of it, hold the property as Airbnb.
Okay, email me that term sheet.
Yeah,
Send,
all right.
send the term sheet to alex@thierryhomes.com.
Okay, Thierry.
And then, so walk me through kind of what you believe, purchase price 300, $100,000 rehab. How long is it going to take you to do the rehab?
Well, the cool thing about this, it's already halfway done. There was a flipper that I guess ran out of money. So all the texture, it may need paint, but it looked like paint, the walls are already painted. So it already has LVP, like luxury vinyl plank throughout the entire house. One of the bathrooms is already almost like 80% done. And then the master bathroom needs to be finished out. The studio in the back needs to be, you need to start that from scratch, but it's a small area, so it could be done. It would probably be done in 3 months. I could do it. If not, since it would be my only project, I could probably shoot to have it done a lot faster. I just started buying rentals and doing this within the last year, and I handled about 4 projects at once. So that took a lot longer than I wanted to, but I finished like 6 houses within, like probably like 6-8 month period. So handling just one house would be a lot more, easier for me.
Yeah. And so you're running the crews and running the subcontractors?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have also other investors help. They're going to help me with the budget on this one here locally. So somebody that has, a 300 house portfolio, I'm guessing, that's just a good guess, but 200 plus houses that's been doing this for over 10 years is going to be mentoring me on the project, just so I can, hone in my skills on getting the cost down and everything.
Okay. And then I didn't get the text to my computer. Do you mind just emailing those to alex@thierryhomes?
Yeah. You didn't get the email with the term sheet?
I got the term sheet. Can y'all see it? I got it pulled up right now.
Okay, you got the term sheet. Okay, so the pictures.
I didn't get the pictures though.
I'm gonna get the pictures to you. Give me a second.
Sure. All right, guys. Hey, for everybody in here too, Brian was not, I don't think, expecting to pitch a deal to the community today, but what we go through today will be a good thing to remember and take notes on, and the questions to ask. And for, in a couple of weeks when we launch the pitch your deal, the pitch is what we're calling it, weekly meeting where people come in and pitch these deals. So Brian, you are the guinea pig.
That's cool.
But
Mine.
you're doing great.
454.
All right.
I'm sending pictures right now.
Perfect. So it looks like initial funding, they're going to give you 241.
Yeah.
Loan, and then obviously they'll release the rehab budget over time as you complete your scope of work. So 241, so you need 59 plus closing costs. Cash to close is 75 with origination points, some escrow fees, insurance is 75,660. Is everybody following this or have any questions on these numbers? All right, cool. All right, Brian. So they're going to give you about 241 to close. So you need to come to closing with approximately 76,000, let's call it.
Right.
And then you're also going to need money to start the rehab in order to start getting the draws. So you're going to need some materials, you're gonna need some, you know, to pay your contractors potentially until the inspector gets out there, gets out there and reports back to the lender that you completed some line items.
Yes.
So about how much do you think you need on top of the cash to close to start the rehab?
The cash I can deal with that. I have a line of credit I can use up front to start the rehab. The thing I like about Easy Street Capital is they don't use, or I hope they still don't do this. They still do the process that I did before. They don't use inspectors, so they have an app that you take pictures with, take videos while you're at the property. So it's, you know, timestamped and geo tracked and everything. So let's say on my budget sheet, I have, you know, 15 grand for the roof. Once the roof is done, take pictures of it, submit it over to their email address and say, hey, I need to take the draw for the roof. And they'll review it that day and I'll have the money the next day. So that 15 is quick. That's why I like Easy Street. Is it expensive? Yes. Do I want to negotiate that 3 points down? Yes. But the money is quick. So I want to be able to get in, get out, and be able to refinance it. They also have a refinancing product with Easy Street on Airbnbs, and they'll do the forecasting on AirDNA, which is nice. I have to look at it and the pricing, but there's a
Rana, you have access to the MLS in Corpus?
Well, kind of. I'm not a realtor.
We do. So if you give me a sec, I'll pull that up. Run us through the ARV here. So we got questions in the comments about what is the ARV? You said 550?
550. So let's
where you explain to us where you're coming up with that and how you feel confident it'll appraise after you do the work there.
Okay, so I had one of y'all's what do you call it? One of your realtors, Gia Madelone. She pulled a BPO, I guess, or a sheet on that. Let me see where I have it. I'm going to email it to you right now. Through my text. Sorry, trying to do this on the fly.
You're doing great.
Okay, so emailing this to you right now.
I'm gonna pull up the MLS on mine as well. Matt, if you're here, can you tell me the code?
Hey, Alex, what code?
It says Corpus Association of Realtors just sent you a text.
Okay, let me see. Give me a second here.
Let me know if you got that report.
Got it. 599507.
599907.
No. 599507.
599507.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brian, I got the report here as well. Let's look at the pics real fast because I know we needed to look at those earlier.
Yeah, I was able to only send like a few, but you can kind of get the idea of the interior of that house.
So someone was already rehabbing it, huh?
Yes.
And what happened? They just run out of money? Do you know?
Ran out of money. That's all I know.
Okay. Do you know what they bought it for?
I don't know what that previous flipper bought it for, but I think the people I'm buying it for is probably making about 20 on it.
Okay. All
Basically, like a double close, but they hold it right now.
All right. Here's the report we got. So your comp analysis. I'm not a big fan of these reports. Matt never taught me how to do these reports. We just looked on the MLS.
So if you look at, I could probably give you a comp, like a specific.
Go back to the RPR. Is it an RPR report, Alex?
I don't know. I'm just gonna look on
Yeah,
the
it's RPR.
MLS here. Can you guys see?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Williams Place. Why is it not searching for me? All right, here we go. Corpus is interesting. It's weird because in Corpus, much different than Austin, on the same street, you can have a range of values. It's, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it doesn't just because it's in a neighborhood doesn't mean it's, you know, like look at this. We got 235, 429, 649, all within like a 3-street period. So Corpus is very interesting the way that it's priced. So which ones is this one of the keys you're thinking?
The 444 Pierman Place, PEER, that one closed about 0.23 miles away at an amount of $534, $200 square foot.
And how does it compare in terms of square footage, bed and bath?
Yes, so ours is around 2,600 square feet. This one was 2,671. 4.2, so it's the same thing. 4.2. Ours has the studio on it on the back, so you could add, maybe 10 grand on top of that amount. So that's why I was kind of ballparking 250 or 550. That one has actually closed, and then there's another house that has on the report that is active. So I can't really count that, but if we just use that one,
let's look at this one. Is the plan to renovate it similar condition here?
Yeah, the inside's already like what I would already do. Like it's already there. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be finished out. It needs a kitchen. So that's money right there. But I can get the cabinets in at a good cost. So it needs to finish out the kitchen, needs finish out the master bath. We need about 10% more on the second bath, and then we need to finish out the studio.
Okay.
And let's see here. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as like the value.
All right. Andrew, do you want to tell us where you're coming up with yours?
Yeah, I just have access to PropStream and Privy, so I was just pulling some details from that. Things that have closed in the last 4 months because the market's obviously changed. I know Corpus quite well as well, and I just think 550 is I think you're gonna struggle at that.
Yeah, well, maybe getting so this one closed 620. I'm really not familiar with Corpus. Like I said, it always confused me the way that their prices work.
Street, like.
But do you think is your concern that it wouldn't appraise for this? Because the plan here is not to sell it; it's actually to refinance it.
Appraising is difficult, like every single property you buy, you get a different appraiser, give you 2 different prices.
Yeah. If you're going to be conservative, I would probably say 530. It's probably a safe number if it's right at exactly 200.
Okay, well let's roll with it. All right. So we got this. Let's just call it you tell me, Brian, this is your pitch. What's the ARV?
Let's say it's 530.
All right. 530. All right. So assuming ARV is 530, we got $300,000 purchase price, about $100K going into rehab. They're going to loan you 241. You're going to need about 76 at closing. You mentioned you are going to put your own money into it to start the rehab. About how much do you expect you're going to end up putting in there to get it started?
30 to just get started.
30.
Yeah, if I can get some big items taken out, put like 15, 20 grand on the roof. They don't really check. They're not going to ask for they might ask for like a QuickBooks like receipt from a contractor. So, you send them what you have and what you spent, and they'll fund you the amount. So
Yeah.
it's a little flexible as far as like, getting them to fund you your money.
Okay.
Yeah, so 30 would probably be safe.
All right. And then what are your holding costs going to be during the rehab that you're going to need?
Let's see. We need to calculate that out. The holding cost. We are at 10.9%, and monthly interest payment $29.25.
Okay, so 29.25 plus
150 for insurance. Another 200 for electricity and utilities, trash and stuff.
okay, so how much and in 3 months is your holding time, you expect to have it refinanced in 3 months or just the rehab portion?
I expect to have the rehab done within 3 months, and I would assume they want at least 3 months seasoning with Easy Street to do a DSCR loan. So just hold it for 3 months so I can then start the refi.
So maybe 5 total months before refi happens?
Yes, safe to say, yeah.
All right, so what's total holding cost for 5 months?
So that's $14,625 in interest. And I said 150, let's just say 300 times 5. About 16,125. It's a good estimate.
Total?
Total,
Is that right? 16?
yeah, that's what I calculated with interest and like utilities and insurance.
All right,
Am I missing anything else?
taxes and stuff, but you'll
Usually
pay those
paid.
when you
Yeah.
close the refi.
Yeah.
So 16,000. All right, and then tell us on this exit strategy here. So the refi with Easy Street. So how much are they gonna lend you on the refi? What's your rate / payment gonna be approximately? And then how are you going to, you're gonna Airbnb it or long-term rent it? And then what are those numbers to project, how much money
Right.
your investors are gonna make?
Okay, so let's say we're doing a 530 ARV. They do 80% cash out refi. So that's 424,000. If I get the rehab done under 400, paying everybody back. Well, I got interest payments and everything. I should be able to pay everybody back with interest. Can you take a look at that math I just did?
So let's see here. So if is your plan to pay your investors back at that time? At
On the
refi?
refi, yes, absolutely.
Okay. And so you don't want the investors to stay in the deal after the refi?
I mean, I've never had that done before, but if there's a way for us to all make money, or if y'all just want to make money on the, this percentage on the loan that y'all are able to do, we can do that.
No, you can't. I was just
Yeah.
curious what you're asking.
That's probably, I mean, that's my first thought is to pay everybody back with interest at the end of it.
All right. So hopefully refi at 530, 5 months from purchase date. You'll get 80% of that amount as a loan, which is 424. You're gonna have some closing costs there as well. But 424, your loan amount at this time should be 322 max. That's all they're gonna give you, right?
Mhm.
So mine is 322, paying back hard money. Put you at, what, $102,000 minus costs that you'll have.
Mhm.
And then you were asking for 76 from investors. So, what are you wanting to pay the investors for their $76,000 investment?
Let's see. My initial thought is like 12% as a good return. Second, someone's calling me. I'm still there?
Yep.
Okay. So let's see what that comes out to. So it's 9,000 of interest.
Is that
Well, hold on. That's right. Hold on a second. So I'm doing 75,000 times 12%. Then I'll divide that by 12. So 5 months. Is that right? 3750.
yeah, $3,800.
$3,800. So I don't know if that's, if somebody wants, I don't know if that's going to be worth it to somebody to lend that much money out.
It could be. I'm sure to some people it is.
Yeah.
To me, it's quite a big risk for
Mhm.
only $3,800 profit.
Right.
But this is your pitch, and so like these are the things you got to think through when you're pitching this to investors. Is if this is the route you want to go with, paying 12%, paying your investors 12% annually. So if it's only 5 months and that's $3,800 on $76,000 investment, who is that investor who has 78 grand and is okay with making this 12% annually on their money that's invested?
Right.
And so, if that's the route you want to go and how you want to structure it, then I would suggest finding people who have that, and maybe they're here in the community. But let's hear it. Like, now that we got all of our numbers here, let's see you run back through this pitch and pitch it to the community here and ask the community if they have any questions, who's interested in investing in this deal with me. I would also ask, is anybody open to any other ways aside from what I propose to invest in this deal with me? But let's run through it all in one thing real quick, if you can. And you just tell everybody who you are, why you're, qualified to take on this investment and take on investors, what the deal is, why it's a good deal, purchase price, rehab, ARV, your loan amount, your cash to close, how much money you're going to be putting into the deal, what your holding costs are going to be, how long it's going to take, and what you're offering, for this investment here and your exit strategy.
Okay. All right. So my name is Brian Gomez. I'm out of Corpus Christi, Texas. I've been in real estate since 2019, started with wholesaling. And last year we started buying and holding properties. So we did about 6 deals last year, rehabs, Burr method deals. So we hold 6 rental properties. We have 3 long-term rentals, 2 Airbnb arbitrage with other investors, and 1 Airbnb that we manage ourselves. So I know the area as far as when it comes to 454 Williamson. The purchase price on it that we're looking at is $300,000, and the rehab are going to change the numbers on this because if I were to do this with my own money, I would ask for more, obviously, right? Because I want to overestimate. But if I'm asking for investors' money, I could probably do the rehab a lot less. So let's just say 75,000 for the rehab to finish it out. The house, as you saw, is about 80% done on the inside, which is a lot of the work. If you ever rehabbed a property, I think this was a 1955 house. So a lot of the work has already been done, the texture, the floors, the paint, bathroom needs to finish, kitchens need finishing. These are all separate rooms, so we can knock them all at once with different crews. And then So our exit strategy, after we're done with the rehab, let's say 5 months, was to refinance out of it. So as we discussed, we had an ARV of 530,000. 80% with Easy Street Capital is what they do. So that's 424,000. So let's say we're at, let's see here, our loan amount on this was funding 241. So with the rehab, if we're in it for, let's just say we're in it at 400 with the rehabbing holding cost, at 424, we would have 24,000 left over to be able to pay investors. So if we could come up with an amount, maybe it's not 12%, maybe it's something we can discuss to where it's, you know, a better deal for investors to loan 75,000, whether it's one person lending the 75,660, or if it's three people lending up, you know, $25,000 each. So I think there's a lot of different ways that we can make money on this to be able to do like a quick turn on getting the return on investment for the investors within, you know, 6 months, 5, 6 months. Any questions?
Can you clarify for us one more time on how much is needed for the investments and what our return is going to be?
So the total investment we would need would be 75,660 from investors. 75,660.
And then investors' return?
Let's see. I'll do a number real quick. $15 to 20%. 20% would be 15,000 out of the 524. I think there's room to be able to pay somebody 15,000 or to split 15,000 if it's a 20% return on investment. That might be, you know, a good investment for somebody to wait 5 to 6 months on.
Good job. Good job going through that. Anybody have any questions for Brian? Anybody want to invest in the deal, Brian? No questions?
What's your monthly rent?
So I got on Airbnb, the front house is going to make about $54,000 a year. And the back studio is going to make about 24,000. So that's 54 plus 24. No. 54. 21,000 on the studio. So we're about 74,000 for the year. Let's say 74. We're making about 6,166 a month on both listings.
What's your expenses on that?
On Airbnb?
Yep.
So I have those two Airbnb arbitrage properties that I don't manage. I rent to those investors, and then I have the one on Aberdeen Avenue. If you want to, you could also pull it up. It's I guess I can't share it with you, but we made.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, once you look it up, it's you know what? I'll send you the link.
Yeah, I'm just curious what, like, from the 6,100 that you're going to make a month, what percentage of that's going to expenses? Is it 50%, 40%, 30%?
Right. So our monthly payment on what we came up to 29, almost 3,000 a month in interest payments, plus another 300, and utilities. So $3,300 a month, and interest payments and utilities. Alex, let me send you the link so they can see my rehab on this one.
Yeah. What are you gonna do in the event that it appraises at 470?
I don't think it's going to do that.
I know, but just as assurance to your investors, what in the event that it does, what's gonna happen?
I'm going to pay them out of my own pocket. Like I said, my goal is to not use any of my money, because that's just a strategy I want to learn in raising capital. But I do have the money to pay them as far as home equity line of credit in my home and savings. So I have about $130,000 liquid funds I could get
Okay,
access.
good.
What was that?
I said, great.
Okay, cool.
Do you email the link?
Doing it right now.
What other questions do y'all have? This is the first time. Go ahead, Andy. I think you're unmuted.
Hi, Brian. So are you gonna refi with Easy Street, and are they confirming that they can give you 80% of the ARV? Because some lenders said they only do 75 or 70%. Do you have confirmation that they would do 80% for you?
I spoke to Kelly Smith, who is the rep, and she confirmed that we can do a refi with them. And I need to confirm the 80%, but I have marketing from them that they do 80% on the refi. So I can find that really quick, easy.
Yeah, double check with them on that as well, especially if it's going to be a DSCR refi. They're going to be basing it the income that it's going to be bringing in. So you're going to want to make sure that it meets that DSCR requirement for them too.
And even then, local banks, I have local banks here that can utilize, that do it up to 85%. They can do 85%. I believe Value Bank will do up to 85% on the cash out refi. I need to double check the seasoning requirements on that. But I'm reading here right now from Easy Street up to 80% LTV. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let's see, make sure that's a cash out. It just says 100% of your capital back cash out refinance in only 3 months. No lease required. So lending solutions for the purchase, rehab, and refinance. And this is specifically for Airbnb. We call it Airbnb. So qualify with the AirDNA projections. Let me send this to Alex so the community can see.
I like that term, Airbnb.
All right.
And Brian?
Yes.
So Brian, there's rumors that the Fed might raise interest rate at least once or twice more due to inflation. So would you be okay in 5 or 6 months refining at like 7.5%, 8% for 30 years? Was that something? I mean, at that point, would you still be happy refining at that rate?
Yes. Because I'm buying the deal right. If you do like the 70% rule with 530, 371. So $530,000 ARV, you do a 70% rule on that. That's 371,000. The mentor I'm using on the rehab, he thinks we can do it for 50 grand or less on the rehab. So I'm kind of overestimating my budget, because I don't want to go into it and not have enough funds if something major happens. Says it needs a plumbing reroute. It's a 2,600 square foot house. the house that you're looking at right now on Airbnb is like 1,400 square feet. So this will be one of the bigger houses I've done. But most of the work is already done for me. So as you can see, we finish them out really nice. And it's not, I make sure I get all after I finish the rehab, I get professional photos taken. So it's really easy. I know how to work getting the appraisals on it if they are going to do an appraisal. If I'm not going to go through Easy Street, I make sure that I have a good product that I can present to a bank to do the refinance. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I don't know if that helps.
You did great. This house that you sent the link on, this looks beautiful. You did a great job rehabbing it.
Thanks.
Ryan, you did a rehab on this picture right here on these houses?
Yes, this is the one that we did a
Nice.
rehab
Wow.
on.
And you furniturized it for, is that an Airbnb
Yes,
product?
that's Airbnb. That's our current active Airbnb listing.
Wow.
And we've only had one day in this month that it hasn't been rented. So it's like we're like at 90% occupancy. So I don't manage it myself. We're co-hosting it with somebody that really knows Airbnb. She manages about 30 rental properties for Airbnb. So she kind of knows the ins and outs on maximizing, the copy of the ad and trying to upsell some of the listings. So if they have like a 1 day, she will message them, hey, we have 2 days on each side of the day. You're saying, do you want to extend your night for 3 days? So they maximize the profitability of the deal for the month. And so she'll also advertise to, travel nurses or contractors. So in the slow months, hopefully we're starting to get month bookings rather than just like 6 day, 2 day. Summer months is a lot of different bookings. So you got 4 days, 5 days, 1 day, 2 days. So we're about to go into a slow season once December hits, or once winter hits, the heat wave.
What other questions y'all have for Brian? For anybody here who would consider investing in this deal, what sort of return would you be looking for, and how would you, if you were to invest, how would you like it to be structured?
I'm sending you some pre-rehab pictures of this one that you're looking at right now, so you can kind of see it before and after.
Alex, what would you be looking for if you were to invest in this?
Well, I'll just share my thoughts, Brian. So I think that again, I don't know the Corpus market extremely well, and it does confuse me looking at the comps within a 4 street period. But I would be a little concerned investing in it, given that the spread, to receive a return is so small. Like Andy C mentioned, appraisers, man, they
like to ruin deals.
they're kind of all over the place. So it just takes
Yeah.
one bad appraiser to have a wrong opinion of value. If the true value is 530 plus, and they come in at 490, and the whole exit strategy goes out the window. And so I do like the fact that you ensured that you would, cover those costs in the event that something along those lines do happen. Refinancing properties right now, DSCRs and other things, it's proving to be it's not impossible by any means, but it's definitely way more difficult than it was. And it's quite a long process depending on who you're using and all the crap that comes up along the way. So it's a little bit harder to go through the refi and make the DSCRs work and not get screwed on, how much cash you're getting and things of that nature. So what I would encourage you to do is to reach out to some other lenders as well on the refinance portion, to just get some other opinions, see what other products are out there, and make sure you're working with someone on the refi who can get it done. But those are my initial thoughts. Is I think that the just for us personally, the 12% annualized is not that much of attractive investment to us. You know, putting up 76,000 at risk, getting 3,800 back is not something I would want to do. 20%.
What if about loaning the entire amount and we do like looking at assets that I have?
Say it again.
What if you were to do like what if I were to find an investor that were to loan the purchase and the rehab, and I put up, you could put a lien on one of the assets that I have on one of the houses that has equity in it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not so much the security there, right? What I was talking about was the return I'd be getting. However, that's not a bad idea either. But also, too, I'm just we're very aggressive with our investments that we make, and we really pull triggers on only the home runs. And we're not, especially right now in this environment, we're not very satisfied with okay investments. But there are a ton of people out there who aren't looking at deals all day long like we are, who would probably find a 12% return to be a pretty good return.
Right. Yeah, so it's about finding the right investor or a different strategy.
Yeah, I think it's about finding the right investor. And Andy C is presenting something as well. Go ahead, Andy, if you want to explain what you just posted in the chat.
Yeah, just what you were saying earlier, Brian, about you having 130K liquid. You know, if you fully believe in it, do it yourself. Pay yourself that 20% return. Like, don't get it from someone else.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying not to do. So, like, yes, I could do that, but it slows my expansion of acquiring assets and getting rental properties. If I put all my money into one deal, it slows me down. So I want to build a portfolio of rental properties and Airbnbs a lot quicker if I can use other people's money. So I think the question I need to ask myself is, how can I provide a better deal to investors that want to invest with me? Maybe it's owning the property with me, something different. I mean, if 12% or 20% is not enough, I need to start listening to what you would want or other investors would want.
What I have seen done with other investments that we've made is, once we return the initial capital to someone, so say we borrow that 70 grand, maybe offer them 10 or 20% of the cash flow every month as a kickback, for the foreseeable future. And that way they have no money tied up in the deal, and you're just giving them post box money, every month at that point as well. Like, that makes it attractive to people.
You've done that before?
Yep.
Yeah. And so how does that work? Do y'all give them a percent of the equity of the? I mean, how's that structured? I haven't done that, so I'm curious to see.
Yeah, so I just own the property 100%, and then what we do is, on the initial purchase of the property, I'll maybe borrow that 50 grand, for example, at 20%, and then I'll just say, if I borrow for 3 months or I borrow for 12 months, I'll give you the full 20% return. I don't try and break it up per month. I just say, your return is your return, and I'll give you, whether it's in 3 months or 12. So I'll give you your money back plus your interest, and then I'll give you a kickback every single month off the cash flow. So if the cash flow is, say, $100 a month, which is, just keep numbers easy, say I give you 25% of that every month, you get a $25 check in your mailbox every month from me, just as a thank you for being in the deal. That obviously makes more sense when you're doing bigger deals, right? When it's and a month, but I have done that with other investors before.
And do you do that for the entire period of owning the asset, or for?
I have done with some people, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, I could look at doing that too. Maybe this deal is not the type of deal that I need to, borrow the money on to acquire the property on the cash at close. I need to look at different strategies that might, pique people's interest.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an Airbnb, right, then summer months, obviously in corporates, it's going to be heavy cash flow, right? So if you say to somebody, I'll give you 25% of profits, year round, obviously it'd be higher in the summer, but lower in the winter, that kind of stuff. So it could even itself out.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or, provide, just give them some of the cash flow or come to an agreement on the cash flow where it makes sense for somebody to lend the money on it.
Yep.
Andy C. So
Go
did
ahead.
I hear you say that that you would give one of your investors like for example 20% of the ROI on the loan plus some percentage of equity of the cash flow for the lifetime of the loan? No,
Just
for the
just the
lifetime.
lifetime of the hold, honestly. I've done it where I just do, I'll give you a kickback every single month for the lifetime of the hold of the property. So if I hold it for 50 years,
Wow.
I'll give you mailbox
Okay.
money for the next 50 years. If I sell it, then that stops, obviously.
And how do you put that person on the like first lien, second lien, so that they have security that they will get a portion of that cash flow? How do they know that they're entitled to it?
I mean, technically you could pull it away anytime you wanted, but it's not good business practice.
No, I meant how how do you legally structure so that that person gets an equity of the cash flow? I mean, do you put them on the deed, or do they get a first lien on the house, or you get what I'm saying? Or
No, I
just
mean,
by word
it's
of
only
mouth
for
that you?
it's for negligible amount. It's like 25% of cash flow every month. So it's only like maybe $100, couple $100 on a smaller property. Like you're not going to put a lien on a property for a couple $100, right?
No,
I agree.
What Andy's asking is how are you what Andy's question is how are you making your investors feel secure there that they are going to get this return every single month? Is it via JV contract? Is it some other contract where you're guaranteeing them this return of cash flow if there is cash flow present for the lifetime of you owning it?
I haven't done it obviously in any contracts. It's just been a handshake deal. If you lend me the money, you get your money back plus interest, and then I promise I'll just kick you back, 25% of profits in terms of cash flow. I've never done any paperwork on it.
Okay.
So it's just a straight direct debit from my account every month when the money comes in, kick it back.
Thank you, Andy. And Brian, so if someone lends you 76,000, how does that person um, legally? How do you? Same question. Maybe Alex understand. How if someone lends you 76,000, do you give them a contract, or how do they know that you owe them that amount legally?
What I've done before is just write up a contract for a loan and put a percentage in there. And that's what I've done before. That way, somebody have something legally binding that's signed by both parties.
Yeah, you just do a promissory note and then you file it with the county through title, and then it shows up as a second lien on the property.
Oh, okay, so it'll be filed with the county, become a second lien, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could do that. That's one way to do it.
Okay. If I may, I mean, I have the 76K, but after thinking about that, it's only 3 or 4 thousand. I don't know if it's worth the trouble of doing it. I mean, if I put 76,000 into a money market account, I'd probably get 1 or 2 thousand or something by the end of the year too. So um, that's a little bit hard to think about. So I just want to be honest on that one.
Yeah. So I think I think it's cool with the strategy to maybe we do. I'm just thinking out loud to do the interest percentage back to the investor, and then like he was saying, do a payment on the cash flow every month back to the investor. Maybe it could be for the lifetime of the loan. Maybe you could do like 12 months and it's half of the cash flow. That way it's like for 1 year. That way it's much more than the 3,000. Your cash flow and maybe a few $100 or $500 every month since it's an Airbnb. So that's a great idea to look at to offer some people.
Do you have this under contract right now, Brian?
No, it's a friend though, so it's mine. I just need to get it under contract.
Got it. So go ahead, Andy. You have something?
Yeah. So Brian, the previous owner, the previous guy who bought it ran out of money. So is he still the current owner, or is it foreclosed by somebody county right now?
Yeah, so one of my buddies owns it already. So he offered it to me for the 300.
Oh, so he's the one that that ran out of money for the flip?
No, he bought it.
Oh,
I think it
he bought
foreclosed. I think it foreclosed and they bought it.
And then your buddy's sending
Yeah.
it over to you. Okay.
Right.
Another option you have, Brian, as well, because it's one of your friends that's doing it. Why don't you do like an ovation agreement and then let him carry some of the risk?
Yeah, that's another that's a great idea. I mean, what we've done before with this investor is I was trying to close on a deal like the one that you just saw, the Airbnb. I got it for 135 and I was running out of time on closing. So he purchased the deal for 135 and then I bought it back from him once I got my financing in order for 145. So he made 10 grand in like a month just by buying the property, holding it for a little bit. So there's a bunch of different ways to, to offer, an investor like an opportunity. So it doesn't have to be like the lend 75,000 and get a percentage back. So I might be looking at it the wrong way on this property. So I think it's a deal. I mean, I think it's a deal, but I just need to look at different strategies on offering it to investors.
I don't think you're looking at it the wrong way necessarily. There's tons of people out here that have $76,000 that would probably love to get a 12% return. So
Right.
I don't think you're looking at it the wrong way necessarily.
Mhm.
Just might be talking to the wrong people about that specific strategy. Like
Right.
us, for example, I mean, we're not necessarily in the business of lending. We've taken some loans here recently because the opportunity was there, but we're real estate investors. We like owning real estate. We like investing in real estate. And so those are the opportunities that intrigue us the most. However, we will consider short-term loans when it makes sense and it's a good enough return and the risk versus return, makes sense to us.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're necessarily looking at it the wrong way, but might be pitching that route to the wrong people potentially.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think you did a great job pitching this on the fly. I know you weren't expecting to do that today, and thank you for rolling with the flow with me on it.
Uh-huh.
This is also live streamed in the community page, so there's a ton of other people who are going to see this.
Right.
Maybe post in the community group and see if anybody is interested in that or interested in partnering on it with you in some sort of way. Andy says he's got the money. He just said he didn't like the 12% return. So maybe you circle back up with Andy after this. And
I'll just give him my account number. Just drops it in there and just trust me. Trust me, bro. I'll get it done. We'll get you like 20
he's
grand.
saying, I mean, maybe if the offer was 20K to Andy, he would have said, yeah, I'll do this deal with you. He just said he didn't like the 3,000. So,
well, yeah, after I said it out loud, I was like, oh, it's not that great of a deal. But yeah, I think there's an opportunity here. I just need to work out the kinks.
Well, reach out, connect with Andy.
Okay.
Maybe work it out, post it in the group. I would maybe post this in other groups as well, such as, I don't know what it's called in Corpus. I think it's Corpus Christi Real Estate Investors group. Maybe reach out to some other people. I know Matt. Matt, where are you speaking to? Is it tomorrow or Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Matt speaking
Thursday in San Antonio, 6:00. If you guys want to go, email me and I'll give you the link. And there's a free access with promo code TRE.
That would probably be a good opportunity to meet people there at that event. You probably could find an investor / partner there. So I don't think, again, just want to reiterate, don't think you're looking at it the wrong way. I'm glad we worked through that today on this call. When you do pitch this to somebody new, I would suggest coming in like you did at the end knowing all your numbers, feeling confident in your exit strategy, and pitching it with some confidence and, seeing if they're open to lending you the money or partnering with you in some other way.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Good job, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, can I ask you a question? You
Yes, sir.
mentioned post it on to the group, but do you really mean post it on our Facebook page? Because the way how I see Facebook is that if someone posts something and in a few days it gets lost, or in a week or month it gets lost, do we have an internal web page where if you post like a tool or a spreadsheet or a list of something that internally the group will always have? You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about?
I do. Right now, Facebook is what we got. We've tried
Okay.
different things in other places and definitely would love everybody's feedback here. Like we can start I forget what it's called. I don't use these things. It's like a WeChat or what is it called? I think I even deleted it off my phone because nobody used it. But it was some sort of messaging Discord. I forget what it's called. But anyways, we've used some of those before and nobody really participated. And so we can launch those, but just want it to be beneficial for everybody. I don't want there to be so many things that people get lost. So right now, the Facebook group is the best source of communicating and posting things such as this.
I see. Because the negative with Facebook is, let's say you or Matt post a YouTube or video you want us to watch. I'm sure if I miss out 3 or 4 days, then that posting is lost and bedded down. You have to go through the whole Facebook minutes by minutes trying to look for something. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah.
I tell you
Okay.
that if I have something I really want you to see, WhatsApp was the app. But if I have something that I really want you to see, I'm gonna post in the Facebook group, I'm gonna text it to you, and I'm gonna email it to you.
Okay, good.
One thing we've learned is that I wish there was, but unfortunately there's not one source of communication that everybody uses. Some people never get on Facebook. Some people don't check their emails. Some people have 2,000 unread texts in their phone. I bet one of y'all are in here right now. So like I haven't been able to find one source of communication that worked for everybody. And Facebook just seems to work the best out of everything else.
So I came from the tech industry, so we have this tool called Slack. You go on Slack and you can post as many files, you can share as many video, and it'll always be there. So I think there are other tools like that too, but it's just for internally for the team, and not to Facebook and broadcast or get buried because Facebook has tons of posts going forward. So I know there's tools out there. Yeah.
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 And again, we're open to it. Like we've used Slack before for our real estate brokerage.
Okay.
No one used it. Not one person. It's like, so
it's hard. Yeah.
but maybe Discord or something would be something that we could launch within the entrepreneur community, because as it grows and as more people join, there's going to be the need for something other than Facebook. And really, the ultimate goal is to get everybody, and I think you can do this within Discord and Slack and other things. The ultimate goal is to get people to break off and like start working more together versus, communicating to the group as a whole. So send me your suggestions. Send them to info@trehomes.com. I'll put it in the chat. Whatever we can do to make the entrepreneur community better, please let us know.
Will do. Yeah.
I just want to say, I don't know where Brian, oh, there he is. This Zoom call really just made me realize, like he had this, maybe not just one goal, but he went in and presented this idea, and then to hear everybody's feedback of, like what they would do to invest to go in with him, it just kind of opened my eyes more, not just like on the realtor side of going in with entrepreneur methods, but also like an investor entrepreneur method. Like maybe one deal to you, Brian, makes more sense for you, as an investment strategy to get this done. But you don't want to lose the deal if you really think it's a good investment. So hearing what other people have to say and exploring those options, at least you'd be making something. So
Yeah.
that just really opened my eyes in this, with you exploring those different details and aspects of the deal and pitching it. So
Yeah.
good job.
Thanks. I want this deal. I feel like I'm going to buy it. It's like we already decided we're going to buy it. It's just how we're going to buy it. So that's what we're working on.
Brian, 70% of ARV minus repair. It's hard to meet, but you found it, so it is a great deal. Hope you keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we could do realistically the rehab under 50, which I hope they're going to help me link up with some contractors that they already know. So once I do that, there'll just be more tools in my tool belt for the next deal.
Good work, Brian.
Thanks.
And thank you, everybody, for joining today and participating. Does anybody have anything that they wanted to discuss or bring up that we didn't cover? Linnell, Timberly, Andy Squared, Rob, y'all bring some deals if you want to participate in the new weekly community call we're going to do. It'll probably be similar to this, except everybody will be prepared with the deals that they're pitching. And we're going to launch that, I hope, next week. We'll let everybody know, and we'll add it to the entrepreneur community calendar. I'll send the email out and post in the Facebook group describing kind of what to prepare for, how to submit the deal, what you need to do inside the meeting when you are pitching the deal. But it's a good opportunity to do what Brian just did. Can be something like this, can be a multifamily deal that you're looking for some investors on, could be a deal that you have under contract that you're looking to wholesale to somebody. We're not limiting it to a certain type of deal. So this is a great opportunity not only to get more deals done and meet more people, meet more investors, and everybody do more together. But, at a very minimum here, I hope that if anybody was planning on pitching a deal or wasn't sure how they would pitch a deal to somebody, that they learned today how to go about it and what to prepare for. So good work, everybody. Thank y'all for joining. Go ahead. Is that you, Linnell?
I said, sounds great.
All right, good. All right, everybody. Brian, let us know how this ends up turning out. Connect with Andy. Andy, how can you put your info in the chat for Brian?
Yep.
Andy C., do you want to give a brief little intro about who you are, what your goals are, and what you're looking to gain from the group here?
Sure. Real estate investor, I live in Austin, Texas. I've bought a bunch of houses in Austin, bought a bunch in Corpus, and I'm just looking to probably start wholesaling, start putting some cash in my pocket every month from doing real estate.
Awesome. Welcome, man.
Thanks,
And
man.
you're the buyer for Timberly's wholesale deal, right?
I am.
Just put it together. I literally didn't know. I was like, this guy looks familiar. I'm pretty sure this is the guy that's with Scott. So I just put that together.
Me and Scott are from the same town in Scotland. Yeah.
I figured. I was like, well, with the accent, they've got to be.
Yeah. I'm just better looking than he is.
Well, good work, everybody. Thank you, Andy C. Let us know if you need anything. Reach out. We're available. And Matt's got his thing Thursday. He said he's going to post a link in the chat, or reach out to him if you want it to get free access. And let's get busy. Let us know if you need anything. See y'all later.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.